Welcome back. This is this week's episode of Calls and Strikes. I got my main man, the Put Prince of Put.
What's going on, everybody?
Sultan of the Short. Ian Miller in the building. No lie, Rye. We are going to be talking about second careers. We have big news. We had one of the GOATs, the GOAT. I don't know. I mean, him and Jordan, one of them's the GOAT of all athletic endeavor. Tom Brady just hung him up today.
Again?
Yeah. Well, he said for good this time, though. So
Did he say that the first time?
Maybe the second time too, to be honest. But so we want to talk about second careers. It's a good opportunity for us to talk about, what you do after you hang them up. So you're not retirement age. It's not a traditional retirement. Brady's he's going to be blessed with a $37.5 million annual paycheck from Fox.
Ooh, that's not bad, dude.
It is not. You think he's going to be a good, Jordan doesn't call games, probably for a reason.
Yeah.
That killer instinct, you think it's going to translate to good TV?
I hope so. For his sake, man, I hope so. I want to see legends at the top.
Yeah.
Right? It broke my heart a little bit this year.
So is he calling? He's replacing Greg Olsen.
So Brady, he's got his contract with Fox, 10-year, $375 million.
That's pretty good.
It's a lot of money to show up to a game and just give an opinion.
Yeah.
He's no more, you think he's going to study tape and really dive deep and try to
Well, that's what he does, right? Work ethic. The guy's got ethic for days. That's why I like, I shouldn't like the guy, but, the dude, he worked for it, right? He's
seventh round?
Sixth, seventh. Yeah, sixth, seventh. So, I don't know if he's going to be in the annals of history as great as Brock Purdy, but,
okay.
When it's all said and done, but he's going to have a pretty lucrative second career. So
it's fortunate.
Yeah.
Fortunate, man. A lot of people aren't fortunate enough.
So, that was Brady. Brady's got his career in broadcasting. I don't know if you've seen this, but, the MLS signing not washed up, but signing older players from overseas. And so dropping a lot of money, kind of like, I think Stephon Marbury did that back in the day. He went over to the Beijing Ducks, and he might have more fans than Michael Jordan since we're talking about him. But did you do any of that? So did you always play in America? You ever think about going to the Chinese league, seeing if you could make a paycheck?
So that didn't cross my mind. Obviously, I would have loved to. Ended up going one season to Puerto Rico, and then played 2 seasons of winter ball in the Mexican League. Fortunate enough to do that. Yeah.
Somewhere nice, sunny at least.
It was sunny. Yeah, it was definitely sunny.
Where?
So I was in Culiacan, which is the home of the Sinaloa cartel. I had a great time there, though.
Yeah, there's a practical civil war going on there now. They pinched El
Chapo's
son. Yeah,
or something.
That wasn't.
So it was a good experience. Nobody killed me for saying anything bad, please.
Yeah, no.
It's all positive.
Great experience.
And then this past year, I was in Obregon, Mexico. That was a little different. So in Culiacan, that's like turf, right? So the Sinaloa cartel owns that turf. So it's not dangerous because there's no war going on there. Obregon was a different story. So I had just finished out my career. I knew I was probably going to stop playing. Went over there to make a couple extra bucks, and it was fantastic. They told me, don't even go to Starbucks. You can't even walk to Starbucks because Obregon is unclaimed turf. There isn't one single cartel there or, I guess gang that owns that land. Yeah. So it's a consistent war zone. There's people fighting. I shit you not. We're taking batting practice. We're getting ready to go into playoffs towards the end of the winter ball season. And there was a shootout right in front of the stadium. They actually used the statue in front of the stadium as cover around the side of the statue, shooting back and forth. So we had to clear the field. But we're on the field for batting practice. Had to scurry out of there, scamper quick. Everybody's chilling out. I'm hitting the deck. Chilling
out?
So these guys are taking it easy. They're looking out the windows, trying to see what's going on. You hear these pop, pop, pop. I don't know what's happening. Dude, I'm freaking out. I'm trying to call my wife. These guys are just calm as cucumbers. A couple people ended up dying. There was a police chase right down the road.
The Federales.
Yeah. A couple more people ended up dying. We ended up playing that night, business as usual. I had a great experience in Mexico.
Yeah.
It was fire.
That
It was a
sound-
great opportunity.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, and
So you were on a team. You were towards the end of your career. There was probably some young guys that are trying to build a career too,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
So
yes.
how does Mexican baseball differ than the even minor league baseball in the sense of like people's dreams when they're on that team?
Primarily the shootouts, right?
yeah, so obviously the experiences are different. The culture's different. You go over there and no one, there is a language barrier. There's some people that speak your language, but you have to kind of broaden your horizons a little bit. You gotta improvise and adapt. A lot of people go over there to try to make a couple extra bucks. Obviously, the money's different there, but the opportunity is different. So small ball plays there. It's about winning. It's not about development. There's like a short 2 to 3 month window there. So you step onto the field and it's literally about winning. It's my first taste of Major League Baseball was playing in Mexico, to be completely honest with you. I felt like as soon as I stepped on the field, I was in a major league environment, and that's kind of where I learned winning. It's also where I made a couple bucks first, right? So,
Better than the minor leagues?
Much
better.
Much better, especially like if you haven't made it to the big leagues yet, you're making 950 beans every 2 weeks. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. So it was a good experience, good money. And, I mean, if players coming up, especially baseball-wise, like have that opportunity to – if you get offered an opportunity to go wear a jersey somewhere, you're an idiot if you don't take it.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone gets the 37.5 from Fox as an
sure.
analyst, so it's like that income helps,
For
I think,
sure.
over the long
Absolutely.
term. So.
Did you play with or against anybody that our listeners and viewers might recognize?
Did I play with
Or
or against
What's
anybody?
is there any names that you recall?
So who was the lefty from Cleveland? Oliver Perez?
Yeah.
They love him over there.
Yeah.
They love Oliver Perez over there. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
I played with him. Kuliakan, I think he's still there. Around, I got a hit off of him.
Okay.
I think I hit a double. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
That's a name over there. It's a name over there.
We had another Indians dude that played for Culiacan. I pulled him up. Ricardo Rincon,
Okay. When was that?
mid-90s. He's actually in Moneyball. So that's the Jonah Hill. This is the smart GM. I think he gets traded for Ricardo Rincon
Okay.
and some chips or something like that. Is like that scene. So I know
He's
he
now
gets
the
name
money
dropped,
guy
though.
for the Browns.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy's career went from
Paul
Moneyball.
DePodesta,
Yeah, now
yeah.
he's with the
Money
Cleveland
Gall.
Browns.
Yeah.
Money Gall.
My-
Yeah.
What's up?
So, yeah, no, it's that second chapter, I guess, is sometimes you don't want to hang them up permanently, and so a lot of money is seeping into Major League Soccer. You think Major League Soccer is ever going to catch on here?
So I will be completely honest with you. I don't watch soccer.
Yeah. We have the World Cup coming up, right? And I think it was a good world. I follow. Our overseas listeners will probably be like, yeah, that guy can't even explain what offsides is. Not that anyone can really explain what offsides is. I mean, it's a stupid rule, but
It's up for debate.
yeah. But anyways, I mean, like it's going to be a big deal, I think, in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So World Cup's coming, and
The youth are all playing.
the youth that they've been saying that for decades. Though.
People don't play football; they play soccer now.
From an early age.
Yeah, because
Yeah, but
there's a
we-
lot of parents that are concerned that their kids will get concussions and get hurt.
rightly
Dude, my
so.
parents, oh man, I used to have to beg my parents to play football.
Yeah.
I used to have to beg, dude. Beg.
Yeah.
And I got a concussion.
Right. I did too. And like it wasn't a big, like we barely had invented concussions at the time. It was just you got your bell rung.
Yes.
So I was like right on the verge of they made me like sit out a week. They're like, oh, you've had brain damage. You should probably wait until the second week to play. All right, so Chapter 2's done. We did our Mexico stint. Now I know the particulars of your contract here, and while close, it's a little short of $37.5 million annually. Did you have an inkling? Now you said, I mean, it's functionally 37.5. Just the tax situation is a little different because
Yeah, dicey.
So, were you always interested in kind of like finance, business? Did you have an idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had some family in like the Wall Street game, right?
Mm-hmm.
My brother works on Wall Street. I had an uncle who was the chief economist at NASDAQ. I love stocks, right? I don't necessarily know everything about them, and I'm pretty good at losing money too.
Yep.
But I love that stuff. I like numbers. Things change, right? So as you get older, your interests change. So I went from my last year or two in baseball, hanging out in the locker room. You have time. You show up at noon for a 7:00 game. You get a workout in and stuff. And I'm on my phone looking at stocks, or whether it be Fox Business, any of that stuff.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of people. I mean, like the market was pretty hot for quite some time.
Absolutely.
So I know a lot of people that got in the last couple of years. And
yeah. So I really started taking interest there, and things changed, man. I wanted some stability, and you get paid 6 months out of the year playing, and then you get during the off season you don't get anything.
Off you go. We'll see you in another 6 months.
So
Make
my
that
wife
paycheck.
my wife and I would we wanted to start a family, and we wanted some stability, and we wanted health insurance year round. Health insurance is fire.
Yeah.
Health insurance is dope. So we decided to go for it. And now we're here, and we're chasing a new dream, and everything's kind of working out in a good way. We're fortunate. Obviously, not everybody gets an opportunity to transition well into the second career or the second phase like Tom Brady. But, just doing what I can with what I got.
Do you recall your first meeting with Mark to talk about coming on to the team and why you think this is a good fit for you?
Yeah. So I came in here at the end of the season in 2021. I finished up in AAA, Iowa Cubs. And towards the end of the year in September, the Chicago Cubs were calling up everybody because there was a COVID outbreak up in the big show, up in the big leagues. So if you had a pulse, you got an opportunity in the big leagues with the Cubs towards the end of the year, right? The caveat is that you had to have a vaccine. And I'll leave that there. So once the season got done, I stayed in AAA. Boom, season's over. We're making the trip back, and my wife and I stopped here in Independence. I had spoke with Mark once or twice briefly, saw him on Fox News, and I'm just like, man, I want to be like that guy. I don't necessarily know everything about the market. I don't know everything about Fox Business or what's going on, but I know that guy talks well, handles himself well, dresses nice. I'm interested. Talked to him a little bit, built a relationship, ended up coming in here, seeing the place. He showed me, my office if I committed to being here. So a lot of people, at least back in my day, just trying to tie this into the recruiting process for sports. So nowadays, all these, I don't want to say nowadays. So a lot of times what factors into it is the stadium, the location, the gear, right? University of Oregon, I think the Nike headquarters are on campus, right? So they get dope Nike stuff.
Because they were dead for a couple decades. I mean, they obviously track is all. They've always been big at track, but they weren't like a football imposing squad. But that kind of stuff. Yes. I mean, that's part of the recruiting pitch.
That attracts people to come on campus, right? The NIL money, we're talking about $13 million for the Coach Day to retain his whole roster, right? His starting 22. But the way what's important to me is player personnel. So I don't need the coolest gear. I don't need the highest salary just to start out, right? My industry experience is a little different than everybody else's. So in terms of me picking my next home and my next phase, the player personnel here, TZ, Nate, Mark, all those guys, it was important for me to come here and, continue to build and grow. And I thought, it would be a good fit coming here, meeting those guys.
It's a good fit. It's competitive, there's a lot of former athletes here, and it's a natural fit for someone that's competitive, someone that's motivated, someone that'll work, So.
For sure.
So what's your role here on the team?
It's a good question, man. I have no idea. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So I am considered a wealth advisor now. Passed my Series 65. Thank the Lord. Doing my AWMA right now, which is very, very intricate, difficult, different. But we're focusing on the athlete and entertainer space, obviously with my background. So that's who I'm trying to preach to, and now we're here.
Cool.
So you're having meetings with college athletes and talking about things with them and such?
Yeah. So, we're on the phone with, student athlete development staffs talking about financial education and literacy. Ryan and I are taking calls with, some agents, some agencies, some football players, baseball players. It's just, throwing around some NIL deals, just trying to get people, educated and excited about strategic wealth partners.
All right. So all very interesting stuff. If you're watching, I mean, Ian's got expertise and he's got a lot of practical knowledge too. So it's never too early to start thinking about these things as well. Reach out if you have any questions. We're always here, right?
Yeah.
You got a couple minutes that are free in your schedule.
Yeah,
so,
hit me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up. We'll talk. I'll send you a book, man. We'll talk about some strategies that can help you prolong your wealth after you're done playing.
Alrighty. Well, hey, thanks for joining us for this week's Calls and Strikes. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it.